My name is Jeremy Gowdy. I'm the proud owner of Watermaster. Watermaster was started in 1985 by Lewis Warren and Mike Buckskemper. Watermaster is a team of professionals committed to a high level of customer satisfaction. We are dedicated to growth by providing knowledge, technology, and products to meet our customers' needs. Our focus is to provide services in an environmentally sensitive, business conscientious, and family manner. This mission statement has guided us to be a company that has provided services for 40 years throughout the Midwest United States. All of this is possible because in 1985, Mike and Lewis decided we can do it better. From all of us at Watermaster, thank you for allowing us to help you for 40 years.
Mike's values and principles in the company were that people matter, and he was concerned on honesty, and he always said that he would never sell someone something that a smaller amount of money would do the job just to get a bigger sale, because he was told when he started, when he worked for Gifford Hill, which was kind of the granddaddy of irrigation, that he would never be a salesman because he was too honest. And I said, what a compliment.
My name is Lewis Warren. Been with Watermaster for 35 years. Well, both Mike and I worked at a other supply house, and he came in as a manager of the retail store on the West Loop for the supply house. And I was finishing my college degree at that time, so I was only working part-time. And that was in the early 80s that Mike and I first became acquainted. Well, once again, that supply house that we were working for, things were going a little rough with that company, and manufacturers and sales reps were asking Mike and myself to go across the street and open up our own doors. So we did that.
My name is Jimmy Snyder, and I own Turfmaster Irrigation here in Lubbock. We are a landscape and irrigation contractor in the Lubbock area.
Aaron Jantz, CEO of MJE.
I'm Justin Hendrickson. I'm Senior Operations Manager for MJE LLC.
We've been doing business with Watermaster for, I'd say, at least 20 years.
My name is Tab Daniel. I've done business with Watermaster from their conception, which is 1985.
My name is Jay Daniel. I'm the owner of the Landscape Gallery. We've been in business since 1982. We've been doing business with Watermaster for its entire existence for 40 years.
My name is Charles Leatherwood, Senior Managing Director, Engineering Construction, Operations Division, Texas Tech University. I have been doing business with Watermaster for 40 years.
My name is Felix Cobos. I am the owner of Class Sprinklers in Lubbock, Texas. And I've been doing business with Watermaster since 1994.
Hello, I'm Linda Clifton. I was the office manager and bookkeeper at Watermaster for 33 years. I worked with Mike and Lewis at a previous job, and whenever they left that place and started Watermaster, it took them about 3 years before they could hire me. And they called and I said yes.
David Casanova. My job is a designer and sales counter and, well, practically everything where they need me. I've been working at Watermaster Irrigation for 32 years.
I'm Tom Mitt Scarborough. I'm part owner and part of the second generation of Tom's Tree Place here in Lubbock, Texas. We've had the privilege of doing business with Watermaster Irrigation since Mike and Lewis first started the company around 40 years ago. It's been a real privilege to work with them, not only for the convenience factor, but they seem to keep up with the state-of-the-art irrigation products. It's really helped us out in the industry.
Watermaster has always been there for me as an irrigator when I've needed them. There's been times where we've had troubles on job sites and we can't figure out the problem, and they're a phone call away.
When we had our centralized irrigation system with Rainmaster, I was constantly on the phone with Jeremy or some of our irrigators were on just troubleshooting some of the issues we were having. But he went above and beyond on that.
They've taught us a lot. We build a lot of stuff out there in the field, and we think that we know how it's supposed to go in there, but over the years, they've really simplified the process and made sure on the ordering side that we always had the right materials when we needed it.
Growing up, going to Watermaster ever since I was a little kid, they've helped me by learning the process. Now I'm a landscape architect. I'm not actually a licensed irrigator, but I'm legal to put in sprinkler systems on my own jobs. And they helped me learn irrigation. And so now I feel fully qualified to install sprinkler systems because of Watermaster.
I can remember in the late 80s, I went to them and I told them I couldn't pay my bill. And they said, well, it's okay, you know, we can keep extending you credit. And I said, I don't think you understand. I'm asking you to cut me off, so I don't take advantage and get any deeper. But they were always willing to extend whatever they had and were able to do to keep me in business.
You know, I keep doing business with Watermaster because they just have outstanding service. You know, they'll do whatever they need, whatever they can possibly do to help you get through a problem. And, you know, we're in a business that problems crop up, you know, every day, every week. There's always something, whether it's inventory or product not working or warranty issues or whatever. And Watermaster always stands behind everything and does everything in their power to help us get through those problems.
One of the reasons why I keep doing business with Watermaster today, and I'll get a little personal about this, is I'm a recovering drug addict. And there was a moment, time years ago, where I was in a treatment facility and owed Watermaster some money. And Mike had sent me a letter from his attorney letting me know that my account was past due. And when I got out of treatment, I went to Watermaster to make arrangements with them to take care of my account. And Mike had informed me that somebody from Watermaster had paid for my account anonymously and asked me to focus on my recovery and not to worry about the money that I owed them. And from that day forward, I knew that they treated me like family and not just another customer. And I've never gone anywhere else since.
I've worked with Mike and Lewis both. They, you know, of course, as long as I've been around, they were there running the store every day back in the beginning. To me, the key to Mike and Lewis is the people they hired. You know, Jeremy's been my salesman since I started. The story that always stands out to me the most is we were doing a project for a hospital, and we had some decoders that came in, and the decoders helped run each individual zone. It's an electronic part. This was the early part of COVID, and we didn't realize it, but all the inventory had been sitting in the Connex for several weeks, and we got ready to put those decoders in, and I'd promised the general contractor we'd have the project seeded but that week and get the grass going to meet the seeding season. And we got into the Connex and started looking for the decoders, and they weren't there. They'd been back ordered and looked like it was going to be 6 or 8 weeks before we got them. And I called Jeremy and I said, hey, what are we going to do? I mean, I promised these guys we're going to do it, and I've got to get them. I can't wait 6 weeks. We'll be past the seeding season. And he said, well, let me figure out what I can do. And he decided to pull the decoders out of his front yard off of his sprinkler system at home and loaned them to us for 6, 8 weeks that it took to get the other decoders in. They've always been about having good people to work for Watermaster, and that's always been the big difference.
We've known Jeremy for several years now. He's grown up in the irrigation business with Mike and Lewis, and we appreciate Jeremy, and I think he's going to do really good in what he's doing now with Watermaster.
Jeremy had a lot of knowledge also, so a lot of times if you had problems with electrical problems or with valve problems, Jeremy was the one that they would send you to get those problems solved.
Working with Jeremy and some of the Monroe people, we've created this water reclamation system, and it's kind of a combination of all of us together to figure out how to make it work. But I would say Jeremy Gowdy was the big push behind it all when it first started.
The transition of ownership was very smooth and easy. We always thought that Jeremy was going to take over, and so when Lewis was ready to retire, then Jeremy took over.
It was still the same place. Jeremy has been with Watermaster as long as I've been going there. And the only difference I can say that I noticed is that Jeremy moved into Lewis's office and sits on his stool every morning and drinks coffee where Lewis used to. Other than that, Watermaster is still the same.
I remember when Mike was going to sell Watermaster to Lewis because his health had become such that he couldn't continue. And so he sold it to Lewis. And then Lewis started deciding that maybe it was time for him to retire. And Lewis told me that he went out to the cemetery and had a talk with Mike. And the ground didn't shake. So he knew it was okay if he sold it to Jeremy, because Mike did not turn over in his grave. Mike would be so pleased to make sure that Jeremy was the one that was carrying forward.
I started in Watermaster in 1994. I was going to take a year off from college and go back and try and do architecture. Graduated from South Plains with a drafting degree. And Mike and Lewis were looking for a designer at the time. Started on the counter, really anything that needs to be done. That's kind of how all of us do around here. Working with people, the relationships that we've made over the years. I think business is more about relationships than necessarily pricing. A lot of the customers we have here I consider very close friends, and I think they feel the same way. So really I would say the relationships that we've built over the years has been the most rewarding thing. Mike was very, very knowledgeable. He used to tease me that he would do all the math to figure out problems, and by the time he got the math done, he'd come back to help me, and I'd already have it figured out. When I first took my irrigator's exam, I actually failed, and I came and told Mike, I said, I need some help with this. And the next time I took it, I made 100 on every section. So if that tells you anything about how Mike worked with people. It was an absolute pleasure knowing him.
Mike always had a big heart. He thought the very best of everybody, and he treated people that way.
Working with Mike and Lois was great bosses, And they taught me a lot throughout the years. And of course, I worked with them in another company, so I got to know them real good. And they treated me real good, so, I was offered other jobs to go to, but they were too good for me. I couldn't leave them.
Mike was honest. He was respected. He was one of the granddaddies in irrigation. And I do remember that Jeremy actually started at the bottom, worked his way up through the company and all the realms. We often teased that he was Mike's irrigator son. And he would come and get Mike at times and say, I need your gray hair to show some credibility. Well, now Jeremy's got his own gray hair.
It's been amazing to watch how this company has grown with this company that Mike's founded. Started small, which as all companies do, and it's really grown. Constantly traveling across the state to help those out. I'm very proud of them. I think Jeremy taking over, it hasn't missed a beat, and it's continually to prosper, I believe.
My congratulations. It hadn't been easy for the last 40 years. There have been ups and downs, and I congratulate you all to be so successful in your 40th year.
It's such an honor to honor Watermaster with their 40th anniversary. I mean, that's just amazing. Most businesses don't make it a year or 5 years or 10 years. 40 is just unbelievable. And with the leadership and the people that are involved there, I don't see why it can't go 40 more. So congratulations, Watermaster. Thank you for everything you've done for me and my job and my company over the years. And we wish you nothing but success as we move forward.
Congratulations on 40 years, and we look forward to continuing business with you guys for a long time. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Watermaster, on 40 years of success, and here's to continued excellence in your product and providing work for MJE.
Congratulations, Watermaster, on 40 years. That's a big accomplishment. You're as old as me.
Watermaster, congratulations on the last 40 years of doing business in Lubbock, Texas. I've had the pleasure of experiencing the quality and service that you provide for us for the last 30 years and look forward to continuing to do so in the future. Congratulations.
Congratulations on 4 years. Okay.
Congratulations, Watermaster, on being in business for 40 years. I'm sure you'll be there for 40 more.
Watermaster, I want to congratulate you on your 40 years of service to the Lubbock community, and I wish you many, many more years.
Jeremy, we wish you the best. Watermaster, we wish you the best. We see nothing but good things coming for you, and we hope to see you. As long as we're here, we hope you're here with us, and we do wish you the best.
Thoroughly am thrilled that Fresh Blood, Jeremy, and his staff have jumped in and they have expanded into some markets that I never dreamed of.
I'm very excited to see Watermaster move forward. I know Jeremy has some great plans for the future. Like I said before, Jeremy has his own gray hair now to take it there, and I know that it's in good hands.
Congratulations to Watermaster, everybody that has been a part of it, whether it be former employees, customers. I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know Mike and Lewis are tickled pink. Just glad we've been able to serve the community for 40 years and look forward to doing it for another 40 if possible.